Hey, how you doing, you filthy animal? My friends, no need for the intros. Let's just get straight to it. Today we've got 3 free-to-play moneymakers here that require little to nothing for you to do. So I don't want to hear no excuses now. We're talking beginner stuff here that even a level 3 account can become pretty well off on. Maybe you've seen these methods before, maybe you haven't. Regardless, at least you're here and not at the Grand Exchange selling jokes for 10 or 20k, right? Now, with the first method, as you can see, we hit the hill giants in the dungeon to the west of the West Bank in Barrock. There is another entrance south of the Edgeville Bank too, but the west entrance is quicker. Only thing you need for this is a brass key to enter from the west side, and food if you're a low level, cause them level 28 hill giants are relentless. Now, when you're down here, all you need to do is find a world where there are a good amount of players killing the giants and start picking up the loot once it spawns on the floor. That's it. Hill giants can be a very profitable free-to-play monster because of the items they drop. Now, you don't have to kill them, don't worry, but if you want to maximize profit, then I'd suggest you kill them along with picking up the loot left on the floor too. The items that we will be targeting here are the big bones that sell for 100 plus GP and the limpwort roots that sell for 700 plus GP. I also pick up the steel longswords and the coins. Yes, I said the coins, don't laugh cause it adds up. I won't be killing these guys, just to show you the bare minimum of what you can make by just picking the stuff up. But if you have the levels, definitely kill them because you can get more limpwort roots. You'll get law and nature runes that other players will rarely leave on the floor. And the giants will sometimes drop giant keys, which to my surprise, a good amount of free-to-play players don't know what they are. So these giant keys are untradeable, so you have to kill for them. And they let you inside of Olbor's lair, which is in the back of this cave we are in now. Olbor, if you don't know, is the hill giant boss, and if you kill him, you can definitely get some pretty decent loot. But he's level 106, so don't go in there with no fire strike or whatever. Now you hear? Maybe I'll show you guys a Olbor strategy in the near future or something, but as for right now, let's get back to here. Well, actually, a quick tip for my giant key hunters too. If you kill the hill giants in the wilderness, they have a higher chance of dropping keys than the ones in this cave. But anyway, I'd never tell y'all to do something that I wouldn't do myself, so I'll do about 4 or 5 trips and see how we make out, alright? Alright, this method started off pretty slow at first, because I was thinking, just go to World 1 and it'd be smooth sailing, surely. But I ran into a bot or two picking the bones up and burying it right in front of my face. It was actually pretty triggering, I'm not gonna lie. But eventually the speed of the method picked up after a bit, so that's alright. I also ended up having about 150 something limpwort roots in my bank because I was farming them way back before I took my break from this game. But I did keep track of how much I picked up, so worry not, my comrade. Anyway, let's go and price check what we have and move on to the next method. I did about 4, I did like four trips. Alright, this is the loot that I received from those guys. Let's price check it here. And there you go. You got about 28k. I only did 4 trips. 4 trips, 28k. If I was killing them and if it wasn't for those bots, I'd probably have a lot more in less time. But that's not that bad. And 28k is not gonna break the bank. But it's something, man. You do 8 trips, you do 10 trips. You know what I'm saying? And there you have it, man. That's the first method. Let's go on to method number 2 now. Alright, method number 2. It would actually be my favorite of the 3 because you don't have to move anywhere. We'll be making uncooked berry pies, which go for about 473 GP, and you can sit in a G doing it the entire time. For this method, you actually need 10 cooking, but what's 10 cooking? Come on, you filthy animal. I'm a lazy RuneScape player and I'm telling you, this is something you can do by accident. So, I took the profits from the first method and bought our supplies for this method with that cash stack. Those supplies are pastry dough, which sold for 179 GP, a pie dish, which I bought for 15 GP, but they sell for 13. I just didn't want to wait. And red berries that go for 93 GP. All at the time of this video, of course, because y'all know prices in RuneScape change frequently. Hell, last time I played this, bonds were a little under 4 mil. Now they're at almost 6, but that's neither here nor there. And I actually had about 100 red berries in my bank from farming back before the break, so I just used those. I did buy 2 for 101 GP before I realized that I had them in my bank though, so when it's time to calculate the profit, we'll use that price for the berries. You can also do this with meat and apple pies, but I'm too lazy to cook the meats, and truth be told, I never made an apple pie in my entire RuneScape career. And I know there's a market for the red berry pie because of the Knight Sword quest. Now, if you're like me and you hate yourself, you can maximize those profits by making that dough from scratch. That's something I'd normally do, but not for this video because I didn't want to complicate a simple thing. So, let's prepare these uncooked pies and see how much money we make. Alright, so we're just finishing up our uncooked berry pies here. We're just adding the red berries to the pie dish. But there is a story that I wanted to tell y'all about these. We ended up making 100 because, as I've said before, as you may know now, I wouldn't tell you to do something without me doing it myself. That's why I went and made 100 of these real quick. You will have to wait, however. Right now, the price for these are 473 GP. They will sell for that price. You just have to wait. Me, I don't like waiting, so I try and push them down until they insta sell. Unless if I'm losing profits, then I won't do that. But so what I did was, after making them 100 at 473, you're looking about at 47k. So that's how much. That's how much we'll go in to the next method with. Into method 3 with, we'll go in about 47k plus the 7k that I had left over from that first method after buying the supplies for this one. So we'll look about 55k. But what I did was I chucked them into the Grand Exchange, and I hopped to World 1, and I was just trying to get a buyer for them on there, and I did. Well, I wouldn't say I did because I don't really think this guy really cared for the uncooked berry pies, just because he gave me 3 mil for them, you know. Yeah, that'll probably never happen again. I don't know, maybe he was quitting, maybe he's rich, maybe he just won like a $40 billion stake, I don't know, or a 40 bill GP stake, I don't know. But yeah, we ended up making 3 mil for that, and I ended up giving a mil away to some guy that he was actually looking to buy. He was the original buyer of the uncooked berry pies, but he only had 6 cooking and he didn't want to buy them for without cooking them. I guess that's a blessing because I ended up getting 3 mil shortly after. But yeah, that's what you're looking at. You will have to wait. If you don't want to wait, stick to method 1 or just go on to method 3 that I'm about to show you right now. Alright, the final method here is actually the most click intensive, but it's the easiest one of the 3 as far as requirements go. We'll be making pots of flour. That's all it is. I'm in the Cook's Guild currently, but this is just to demonstrate the method and make the video quicker. If you don't have 60 cooking to get in here, then you would go to the mill in Lumbridge, the one right across from Fred the farmer's house where the sheep are. And then you'd use the bank and drainer to go grab your pots. But also, if you have 60 cooking, you would not be doing this method either. This just makes it easier for me to show you. Now, I bought the pots for 6 GP each and the grain for 15 each. and you can sell the pot of flour for 122 GP. Of course, at the time of this video, so that's about a 101 GP gain. The best way to do this is first buy your supplies, of course. Then you go to the mill with a full inventory of grain. In the video, you'll see me click the grain and then click the hopper and then click the lever. But actually, you can just click the hopper and then the lever right after and just keep doing that. I don't know why I was clicking more than I had to. I told you I hate myself. But once your inventory is down the chute, you run to the bank, grab your pots, and fill them up. I've done this method in the other mill too, and they didn't disappear, so I don't want to hear that it wasn't there when you went back. If that's the case, you did a lap around all of Gillinor before going to get your flour. And if you want to maximize your profits, you can pick your own wheat, but I wouldn't make my worst enemy do that. The price of the grain is low enough to not have to do that, you know? And if you like to go the extra mile, once you have all your pots of flour, you can turn them into bread or pastry dough for more GP. Now, just like to apologize if my voice sounds like I'm dying, because it is 3 a.m. my time here, and I'm exhausted, but you know, the show must go on, onward and beyond. But that's really it. If y'all made it to this video, just know you're a beautiful person. I'll be making an intermediate moneymaker and an expert moneymaker soon. All free to play too, so there shouldn't be a reason why none of us who play are out here with no bonds. Anyway, have a good one, you filthy animal.